Hello, nice to see
Thank,
you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'm Carol, Alex.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Should we start?
Yes, go
Yes?
for it. Huh?
Okay. You have been to Brazil many, many times before, and last year, 2024, you guys had more than 20 dates throughout the country. You said once in an interview that Brazil was the first country that you guys performed outside the United States, and that it feels like a second home to you. How did this relationship with the country start, and have you become close to any Brazilian bands or artists? And if so, who are they, and how has Brazilian music influenced your work?
Okay, good question. I mean, not I don't really know much about Brazilian artists. With that being
Okay.
said, I've had some cool moments where I got to work with other Brazilian artists, but more up and coming artists and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to work with other, bands in Brazil. And if, I'm sure things happen all the time, so hopefully that'll come
Yes.
together well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the relationship between us in Brazil is long and amazing, and we're so flattered and honored that we keep getting received there so well. It's really an amazing thing, and it is like a second home to us. I've been, I don't know, this. I mean, just the fact that we're able to come back a year after we just were there and play some shows. I mean, this tour is mostly kind of making up for shows that didn't happen last year as well, like Porto Alegre, and because of the flooding and stuff. So
Uh-huh.
so we originally were just coming back for a few shows, but then they added other ones. So we're doing 9 shows. But yeah, to be able to, see the same people and fans, friends that I've seen for 25 years now.
Yes.
They're adults now, and they have their own children, and they bring their children to the shows, and like it's just this amazing. I mean, it all seems like it went by so fast, but at the same time, it's a long time. It's a quarter of a century, and that to have that is very rare, and again very
A special connection.
it's a very special connection. And of course, with that being said, for us, it makes the shows more exciting. It makes the vibe, and when we perform, even better, because there's just the people of Brazil are very passionate,
Mm-hmm.
and when they love something, they love it, and
Yes.
it's yeah. So I mean, it's yeah. I mean, and I we love the I love the people in Brazil. I love all of the aspects of Brazil. So it's yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any special place here in Brazil that you like to visit? And what about the food? What's your favorite and must eat every time you come here?
hmm Um, Food wise, I mean, yeah, in America it's become much more popular, but in the beginning of touring in Brazil, that was the only place you could get the acai, like the really
Ah,
good,
açaí. Yeah.
yeah, and like in that bowl. I love bananas, so having that with bananas, it was just like amazing, and that was always like a super treat there. Now that it's become more mainstream in America,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of made me want it more when every time I go to Brazil, because here it sucks. It's not the same at all. And
Yeah.
they mix it with grape juice and other it's just different. And so yeah, that's one of the things. Churrascarias, I mean, we love like going to a good Brazilian steakhouse where they're bringing the meat around on the sticks and all. Every
Yeah.
time we come, we got to do that. Because there's nowhere else that's like that. But yeah, I mean, those are definitely food wise. I'm sorry, you asked also about
If you have any special place that you like to visit when you're
right.
here.
So I mean, visiting doesn't really happen. Like obviously, when we're on tour, it's just like
Yeah.
hotel, show, venue, airplane, hotel, show, venue.
Going from
And then if we do have a day off, it's usually to sleep, because we haven't slept in days, because it's just a
Mm-hmm.
great schedule. But obviously I've been there, I don't know, 20 times now. So I've been able to see a lot of Brazil. It's a beautiful country, and I do love, you know, I do love Rio. I love the whole, lots of the East Coast is amazing. And also last year we were able to go into the, into the more into the West, and be able to see you know, parts of the jungle and like be more into that, which I mean last year was a very thorough tour. So I'm looking forward to next year. If Brazil will have us again, but we have our album finally coming out after a decade of trying. So that's coming out in the beginning of next year. So I'm really excited to come back and do a more thorough tour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the
That's
album.
nice. That's nice. I
Yeah,
hope you can explore more the country.
yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The lyrics to Wherever You Go are some of the best known of your generation. You mentioned that you wrote this song when you were 15 and that nobody in the label thought the song was a big deal. What is the
Yeah.
story behind it?
I mean, it's a simple story, really. You've got, the people and back then when labels really controlled artists and controlled everything, it really was just one guy. And he was like your A&R guy. He's the guy who signed the band. And like, if he didn't think what you had was
Good.
great,
Mm-hmm.
then he'd make you write more songs or wait. And so, when I was signed to 15, every song that's on Camino Palmero was written already. It
Mm-hmm.
was there. Wherever You'll Go was there. These are songs that they had, but he didn't think we had. He thought we had good songs, but he didn't think that we had any singles, which is so. Anyway, it was this was multiple years of trying to prove him wrong, and writing, and then honestly, it wasn't like he finally went, oh, they have a song, okay, let's do this. It was like 4 years into it by 2000, I think 2001 or whatever it was. It was the Coyote Ugly movie that Disney did, and it was someone at Disney who heard the acoustic demo of Wherever You Will Go, which we had all these demos of this Camino Palmera, and was like, this is a great song, and like we want them in that movie performing the song, and
Mm-hmm.
and it was only that finally made the guy, the gatekeeper at RA and our guy at RCA go, okay, well, maybe I'll let other people hear this music at the label. Maybe they'll agree. Maybe this isn't bad. Maybe this is good. So
Mm-hmm.
that like finally got things moving. But even when we put out the first album a year later and we were working that Wherever You'll Go song, I mean, even then it took 10 months
That's
of pushing and working radio just in America for that song to go top 10.
mm-hmm.
And there were multiple times where the label wanted to stop and not keep pushing it. And really, I mean, it got to a point where it just would not break top 10. So they were just like, we're done. And we put our own money in. I put my own money into it just to let it live like another month. And then it hit. So, to to know now today that it's such a big song and continues to be is mind blowing. I don't, I never thought it would be. Everybody
This
said it
big.
wouldn't. No, this is a very typical story. A lot of artists have been through this, so it makes you doubt yourself forever. I mean, it's to continue to, and that we live in a new world now with where you can, as an artist, you can just put out whatever you want and do whatever you want, and but as an artist that was signed back then, it took many years to be able to own everything again and be able to be in a place where I can now say, okay, we can start releasing music again and
Mm-hmm.
all of that's happening. So I'm very excited for the near future because we have like multiple albums of stuff and we want to be able to keep releasing music and touring and releasing music and touring, and that's what we're about to be able to do. So I'm super excited.
You kind of gave already a little bit of the response for the next
Sorry, yeah.
question, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Did you
Yeah.
expect to become such a timeless hit? And how does it feel to play this song for an audience of different ages? You said that when you come here, you see like
Yeah,
your old fans with the kids and everything.
absolutely. I mean, yeah, I never thought that Wherever You'll Go would be a hit. I never thought I'd have six other number one songs. It's crazy. Not all of them were number one in America or in Brazil or in any place, but we had a really great success. But again, to have been because of health issues I had and struggles with being able to use the band name again and this all kinds of drama, it's been 10, 15 years
Yes.
you know, I've been able to put out new music, and it's been 20 years since I've been able to put new music as the calling or more. So the fact that people are still listening to the songs, and especially Wherever You'll Go, of course, and that that song in particular has become like a classic rock hit is just, I don't know, it's mind blowing. It's hard
To explain.
it's just a very, very, very
Unique feeling, like.
absolutely, yeah.
Good. You have some history with Europe. Your family lived in Italy for a long time. You
Mhm.
even made a special appearance recently in Giove, an
Yeah,
Italian
well,
city.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're on vacation. Yeah, that's true.
At some point, did you live in Italy? And what do you think spending time in Europe and your European connections has brought you?
Well, I mean, so both my parents grew up in Italy. They were both actually born in America, but at very young ages, their parents were both Italian and raised them in Italy,
Yeah.
basically. So you know, my dad had purchased a property, a crazy castle in 1980. So it was the year before I was born. And growing up, like you said, in Italy, you know, every summer we would spend the whole summer there at this place, and that was a yearly, um, you know, tradition for me and my family, and it was great. It got me at a very young age. It got me used to traveling. It got me used to
Mhm.
all the things I would be doing, you know, later in life. So, you know, and also, you know, Italy, obviously Portugal, Spain, all these countries that I also was able to visit as a young kid as well, got me also very used to the cultures and stuff, and you know, it made me obviously when I finally did step foot in Brazil and in the 2000s, you know, I was well accustomed to like what to expect and how people are, and you know, and that's anyway. So yeah, it's great that I can keep going back to Italy. It's great that there's this family place that we can all stay, and that and yeah, it's a really cool, amazing connection, and you
Yeah,
know,
to go back and share also this with your fans, right?
yeah. I mean, that was just like out of nowhere. I was like, oh, hey, why don't I do a show in the same little outdoor bar that I did my first show ever when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
So, and this was just a spur of the moment. I told fans like 48 hours before, and it was great. It was such an amazing moment this past summer doing that. It was so cool. I didn't think anyone would show up because it was so last minute, but it was packed. It was
Yeah.
great.
Spontaneous and special, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
totally.
I heard some crazy stories from your family background in the art cinema scene, that your
Yeah,
great-grandfather used to paint with Picasso, that
yeah,
Marilyn Monroe used to babysit your father on the movie
yeah.
sets where your grandfather worked as a producer,
Yes,
and of course your father's work
yeah,
directing and horror movies.
yes.
Grow- Growing up and hearing all of these stories and actively participating in small appearances, how has all of this shaped you as an artist?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, growing up, obviously hearing stories like that, and that my great grandfather, he also, I mean, the way my family even came to America is a crazy story. He was he had a school with Picasso. They were colleagues, and Picasso obviously was taking off hugely. My great grandfather was a biblical Jewish painter. It wasn't something that was very huge at that time. With
Mhm.
that being said, though, American presidents were avidly wanting him to paint their portraits. So Roosevelt and I believe JFK, maybe I forget the other president, but he did. He was two times he was asked to the White House to do sculptures and
Okay.
paintings of these presidents. And you know, I was told this as growing up, but I didn't even believe this stuff. But I think it was when I was like 11, I went to Washington D.C. and actually went into the White House, and I was able to on a tour, and I actually saw my great grandfather's paintings in there, and that was really moving. And but yeah, and also you know, then you got the painter and everything, and then you got my grandfather who was kind of the first to make B movies really, and he would you know he'd film a lot of them in Italy and have them come out, you know, America, and it was kind of the first to start doing a lot of that stuff, and he did a lot of Marilyn Monroe's first movies before she became famous. So that all, ties into that crazy thing. And and then my dad has been prolific. He's still makes movies. He's made over 400 B movies and movies that have, and a lot of huge actors and actresses have begun their careers from his movies, and it's been cool. I mean, growing up in that was so fun, and I got to see good and bad sides of Hollywood. It was there were there was like he had in the early 80s. He also 80s when I was growing up really young. There were people that he worked with that were not good, and like there was, I mean, at one point someone put a car bomb on his to
So it's
like
kind
blow
of
up.
it was kind of a natural process, like to grow up in all of this and go
Oh
into
yeah,
music.
yeah. It was normal. I was on the set. I mean, the first time I saw a naked woman, I was like 3 years old on the set of a movie, and I'm seeing like naked woman. She's getting just killed by like some giant bear or something. I don't know, like a crazy man. But yeah, it's growing up in Hollywood and around that, it was very, very strange, I'm sure, to a lot of people, but for me it was normal. And I don't know, it made me grow up fast, I guess. Like
Mhm.
I was at a very young age, I was thrown into that world and acting in some of the movies too, and like, and I was dealing with adults always, and that's so I just was, by the time I was signed at 15, I was already like a 30-year-old in my brain, and I was already, yeah, it made me grow up faster, which also was able to write songs like Wherever You'll Go at 15.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird now to think about like how that even happened so quick, but I was just yeah, an old soul, I guess. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I think all the growing up in that Hollywood scene, all of that really, I think, just
Yeah, push your talent to just
yeah, pushed
go
me.
out
and
of it.
and and also I had a dad who, had become a millionaire at 19 or 20 with his first films, and he completely backed me
Yeah,
in
that's
this thing.
nice.
I mean, for to be taken out of high school and to be signed at such an early age and all that stuff,
Hmm.
like, most parents would be like, this is ridiculous.
Crazy.
And it was, yeah. So he supported me 100%. That's a huge part of it too. And
Yeah.
that's,
We're so glad he did, right? Because
yes, of course. Yeah. I'm so blessed. Yeah, it's amazing.
Alex, last year you guys released the single Stand Up Now,
Yeah.
filmed here in Brazil, in
Yeah.
Rio,
Yeah.
celebrating once more the connection with the country and with a
Mhm.
beautiful message of overcoming struggles and start to live
Yeah.
again. You told already in the beginning of the interview, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Everybody wants to know, do you guys have planned to release new music, and what would the creative process be like today in a scenario so different from the early 2000s?
So, yes, of course I mean, last year when we released Stand Up, to be that song to kind of tie in with the tour,
Hmm.
we I was I thought there was a different label, and we were working towards making that happen, and I thought we'd be releasing songs, right after we got back, and like it would think, but of course it took more time, and then things changed, and there was other obstacles. And so now we're working with Virgin Records for a worldwide release of the
Nice.
new record. They're really excited. We're excited. And that for that first single will be coming out, I believe, in January. And the album probably coming out in, I assume, March. I don't know how long, they do singles
But
until,
pretty soon.
yeah. So it's different than it used to be. It's not like you work a song for 6 months and then put out a record. It'll all just be put out. So I'm excited that we finally have like a really great deal, and we have this portal now where we'll be able to continue to put out new music and tour, and new music and tour. And that's something that I've been dying to be able to do for a decade now, that I've been trying to make happen. So yeah, new music is right around the corner. I thought it would be sooner, and that's but you know it's all it all had things happen for a
It's
reason.
life. It happens,
Like
right?
lots of drama in the business. It's just crazy. It's so different than it used to be, and in good ways and bad. But so yeah, super excited to be putting out new music very soon. Um, and yeah, stand up was a song I wrote during one of the hardest points of my life when I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and I was like, um, it was great to be able to finally. It's a song fans had heard. I had played it live. It was, but it was great to finally release it, and it is on the new album. But it's not like it was the first single from the new album.
Hmm.
It's the song we put out, and then the video was all that was all just kind of we decided to make that once we were there in Brazil. Like it was all like super last minute.
Like
Like we knew the
spontaneous.
song was for Brazil. It was with the tour. It was with a special song for Brazil. But making a music video was never even in the cards. And then we're like, let's do it. And so that all kind of came together during that tour last year. So
That's nice.
yeah,
That's nice.
yeah,
You guys are the lead band in Rock Festival Nova Iguaçu, which is happening in October 5th here in Iguaçu, Rio de Janeiro. Being
right.
the first ever international band in this festival, now in its
Oh,
third edition.
didn't know that.
Once more strengthening your roots here in Brazil. Are you guys excited?
Totally. I mean, we love Rio, so being able to. I mean, you're right by Rio, correct? This is
Yeah,
and festival is yeah. I mean, it's a new festival, and be able. I didn't even know where that's news to me that we're the first international
yeah,
band.
first international
But
band.
so that's amazing. It's that's great to hear that, and yeah, like you said, further tying our roots in Brazil. But yeah, we're super excited to be playing it, and I don't even think we've ever played a show in that area as well, in that city.
Yeah,
So it'll be all new for us. Yeah, very excited about that.
okay.
Yeah.
Alex, one last thing before you go. I'm
Mm,
gonna plant a little seed here for you.
okay.
Your song "Wherever You Go" has over 860 million streams on Spotify right now. I think that if you guys in every show, especially here in Brazil, ask for the help of your fans by the end of the year, you guys can. I'm pretty sure you guys can reach 1 billion streams, making your debut in the Billions Club in Spotify. What do you think?
Oh, we already were. I mean, I know that Wherever You'll Go has had tens of billions of spins, but that's not just on Spotify. So yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. Of course, I'm all for it. If anybody can help us get there, it's the people of Brazil. So
Brazil.
yeah, so yeah, I'm all for it. Let's do it. Absolutely. That's a good idea. I will definitely say that during the shows. Appreciate the idea.
Alex, thank you for having us. Such an amazing talk.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Will you be at the show?
Of course, let's try
Great.
it.
Yeah. All right. Love
Yeah,
to meet
let's
you.
try too. And again, thank you for having us. Thank you for your special always connection with Brazil. I
Thank
think
you.
I speak on behalf of all of your fans when I say that it's very special for everyone to have this kind of. Uh, we have a word in Portuguese that is called carinho. It's when you
Mm.
have I don't know if you know the word,
Yeah. Sounds
but
familiar.
yeah, it's very nice when we have a band that has this bond with us.
Yeah.
So
Well,
thank you.
it's incredible to be the band that had that bond as well. We're very, very, very humbled by it.
Thank you again, Alex, and good tour for you guys.
Thank
Hope
you.
everything is
All
good.
right. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.